Born December 10, 1830 in Amherst, Massachusetts, Emily Elizabeth Dickinson, also referred to as the Myth of Amherst, was an American poet, and although she had little regard during her lifetime, she is now regarded as one of the most important and famous poets in American literature. I love Emily Dickinson's poetry. One of my earliest encounters with her work was in elementary school when we read Hope is the Thing with Feathers. Because of that, it remains one of my favorites, but I wish to share with you another one I've been appreciating recently. Her breast is fit for pearls, but I was not a diver. Her brow is fit for thrones, but I have not a crest. Her heart is fit for home. I, a sparrow, build there, sweet of twigs and twine, my perennial nest. Although much of Emily's life is shrouded in mystery, there are a few themes we can account for. One of these themes being her writing habits. Although she would write lines and ideas throughout the day, Emily tended to do most of her writing in the evenings. And by evening, I mean in the middle of the night. So in honor of her 194th birthday, I sat down to do the same. Tonight, or rather this morning at about 2 a.m., I sat down at my desk to write some poetry. Emily Dickinson wrote most of her poetry in the middle of the night as she collected ideas throughout the day and wrote them down. This habit is actually pretty common for me. I tend to write at night more often than I do during the day because it tends to be much quieter and I'm less likely to encounter distractions. I noticed that as I sat down to write, I was very much in the writing headspace. As soon as the pen hit the paper, I just started writing and didn't really stop. One aspect of Emily Dickinson's poetry that I really love is her use of nature motifs. I often reference nature in my own poetry, but there must have been something in the water because in all three of these poems I wrote during this session, every single one of them utilizes the imagery of nature, which I'd say is pretty fitting for the occasion. In reflecting on this process, I am really glad I told myself to just sit down and write. These aren't the greatest poems ever written, but this exercise allowed me to embrace writing for the sake of writing and not putting pressure on being perfect in its execution. My perfectionist tendencies tend to slow me down, so this exercise felt very freeing. So without further ado, here are the poems I wrote. Butterfly, won't you walk alongside me? Take these hands of mine into your decrepit wings so we may grieve an ending of your sweet refrain. I longed for sunshine, but we cannot remain, and by the sunrise I shall be gone, and neither of us shall know pain. Wakeful spider, crawl upon my hand, spin your stories, and command the people to listen. As the sparrow no longer sings, and the bear no longer hunts, as we pedal for stuff, and the ache for more was once around us, painted in daisies and lavender and citrus trees, through the bees which buzz no more. Robin, mischief maker, take me to your maker, the one who made the sunflower and the bumblebee. Robin, wrap your wings around the sun, and bring it to the grass so it can bake, and in the springtime we'll have bread. Is he a baker? Simply mixing in the sugar and cinnamon with a dash of pepper to shock the senses, making you miss the unknown. So to wrap up my final thoughts, this routine definitely isn't sustainable for me in the long term because sleep schedules are important. However, this exercise did once again remind me how much I love writing at night, and I must find a sustainable routine. I hope you have a beautiful day, happy holidays, and stay safe.